Shalom, it's following Yeshua. Welcome again. Well, I'm not on the rock, but I'm at one of my favorite stores, Home Depot. And the reason why Home Depot is one of my favorite stores is because whenever I come here, I know the rock is progressing. I'm building something, I'm improving something. I'm not here to just take something back to the rock and consume it. I'm here to add to something on the rock, to a system, to a house, anything. Praise Yah. But this video is renting. I was thinking about the renter's mentality and how it has penetrated into the minds of almost everybody. And that renter's mentality is really, you're living a life that you're never going to own. You're not going to own your life. You're always going to be paying for something that isn't yours. And I want you to think about that. Like, your life isn't yours. You're constantly paying for it. You wake up in the morning, you make your income, and you go and you give your money to your Lord, your landlord. And he gives you permission to stay in, those four walls, or however many walls you got, four exterior walls, your apartment, your condo. You're never going to own it. And how that permeates into our mind, and now everything's rental to us, especially because rental homes, now people rent their cars. They call them leases. People live on debt. They live on credit. But also, now, because we lost the understanding of ownership, we think that, we're told that we're owning something, and we're still just glorified renters. Mortgages, 30-year mortgages, or financing a vehicle for 7, 8, 9 years at $500 a month. This stuff is incredible. You're never going to own that vehicle. There's a high likelihood you're going to trade it in and move on to the next vehicle before you even come close to paying that vehicle off. You're not going to be driving around. I mean, how many people really are going to be driving around still paying that $500 a month on a vehicle that they got in 2016? You're still paying the same price in 2023 that you were paying in 2016 for a vehicle that's 7 years old. You're not going to do that. You're going to trade it in. But what's happened is that's also permeated into our relationships. Everything's temporary now. See, with the renter's mindset, you're always able to move. You're always willing to move. You always move because you're always looking for the next best deal. You're looking for the next best place, or you get evicted. The place you are at you're priced out. You can't afford to live there anymore. So your life is always bouncing. You're never setting roots anywhere. And if you've never been around a tree, go look at a tree. How long do you think it took for that tree to be there, to establish itself? Now that it's established, it's unmovable. It's there. It's going to exist. It goes through the rains. The longer a tree stays in an area, the more storms, the stronger the storm it can go through. That's the way we are as people. The longer we set roots in Messiah, the more storms we can go through. The longer we build our foundation on rock. You ever try to pull a tree out that's embedded its roots into rock? So the longevity, we don't have longevity anymore. Everything's temporary. Everything is super, super finite and temporary. We're not building relationships based off of that. Look at your marriage. Brother, come on now. Look at how your wife is acting. Do you really think that she's yours? You do understand you're renting her, right? You do understand that you're just paying a monthly payment to maintain her, but you have no rights to her. Go to your apartment and decide you want to move a wall. Now go to your wife and tell her you would like her to stop doing this thing. She's going to stop doing this thing, and you need her to do something else that's going to benefit the family, and see what kind of kickback you get. Watch her tell you no. Watch her tell you she ain't doing shit. You ain't her mama. And then what happens? Because of this temporary society that we built, marriage isn't lasting. There's no root set in marriage. When she's not happy, she's leaving. When she finds a better deal, where there's more square footage, or more inches on the guy, or he has a deeper pocket than you, she's gone. Many of you are experiencing that. Many of you brothers are experiencing that because this rental society has seeped into our minds, and nothing. If we don't try to make things permanent, everything for us is temporary. Everything we know, it's a 6-month lease. I mean, these apartments now are giving out leases that are 6 months. That means you could be moving every 6 months of your life. You could be looking for a new home, looking for a new place. As these thoughts permeate into our mindsets, what you realize is that you're unable to have anything that is longevity. You're not able to have any longevity in anything that you do because everything is temporary. The repo man's coming. You can't afford it. We can't build relationships. We can't build friendships. We can't build covenants. Covenants are built on longevity. Can you imagine building a multi-generational covenant with another brother? A multi-generational covenant. I'm talking some deep stuff. You marry, one of his children, one of his daughters, brother. You understand what I'm talking about? Covenants? Or your children marry some of his children. And you build something that's powerful. We don't understand that. Because everything with us is finite. Everything us, we don't think we don't make moves in our lives where we're thinking decadally. Is that even a word? We're thinking in decades. We're not thinking in 8-month and 10-month and 12-month periods. We got marriages today that barely last a year or two. Friendships that can make it 6 months. Because this rental mindset has taught us that everything's temporary. Everything's going to be temporary. Everything's going to, we look at life not as if I'm building something that's going to last. The homes that they build are shit today. The cars they build today are shit. They're not made to last 20, 30 years. They're barely made to last to the end of the financing period. And by then you're already, dropping a new transmission in, or a new motor in, or you're having some catastrophic situations in the first 5 or 6 years of your vehicle. You're already having to drop $5,000 and $6,000 on a 5-year vehicle. You're paying your monthly payments, and still gotta put a new transmission in. We need to get out of that rental mindset and start thinking of things in a longevity time. Owning that thing, being able to imprint yourself on your land, on your family, in your vehicle, having things that last instead of having things where we don't want to invest too much into it because we know it's going to be gone. I don't really want to invest in repairing my vehicle because I already know that in a couple months I'm gonna end up trading it in. So I hear that ticking noise, I hear that grinding noise, I hear that rattling noise in my transmission. I'm not going to seek to repair it because I'm going to trade this shit in. And that culture has devastated us to where nothing lasts. We get married looking for divorce. We get married looking for things to end. We have children knowing that they're going to be without their mama or without their father 80% of the time. It's a sad state. And that's why this system is able to easily creep in. Because they know most people don't care to own shit. They're completely content renting their whole life until they die. Hopefully that's not you. Hopefully you see in the book that wasn't really Yah's way. Our covenant is supposed to be everlasting. We're supposed to follow his ways from the beginning to the end. You don't get to hop off his ways, hop off his laws, and go to some new laws because you don't like them. Anyways, bless you. Shalom.